Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Deepak and today I'm going to talk about few set of questions which are asked in the final round of interview, managers or the operations round. So let's begin. When it comes to the final stage of interview, it is slightly different from all the stages of the interview process that we go through. So the questions which are asked in the final round of interview is slightly generic. So there are predefined set of questions for every company. So I'm going to talk about few questions which can help you if you're going to appear for the final round of interview. It will definitely help you. So let's begin with the first question. So the first question would remain the same. I have already created a video so far. The first question is, tell me something about yourself. So this would remain the same in any interview process. Throughout the journey of the interview process, this question would remain the same because this is the first question that the interviewer will ask you sitting in the first round of interview, or if it's the final round of interview. So this is the basic generic question which will be asked in any stage of the interview process. Tell me something about yourself. So for that, I have already created a video on that, how best you can prepare when it comes to answering this question. Tell me something about yourself. So there will be a link somewhere here. Hit that link, you would be able to get that video. Here are some tips that you should keep a pleasant smile on your face when you are answering, because that is going to be the first interaction with the interviewer, or if you are sitting in the final round of interview. So that is, keep a pleasant smile on your face and how excited you are for this opportunity, right? Keep a pleasant smile on your face at least when you are introducing yourself. Business casual or formals, as per the job description. If it is mentioned in the job description that you will have to be informal or business casual, so make sure that you are wearing business casuals or the formals while sitting in the final round of interview, because it plays an important role. It shows how excited you are for this opportunity. So it will give you the extra brownie points if you'll do so. This is the stage where they will decide. The person who is taking your final interview, they are the one who will decide whether or not to hire you. So the questions will be very generic, very basic, but they check whether or not they will hire you, what you can do and what you cannot, sitting and giving the final round of interview. So there is already a video that I have created. Hit on that link, you would be able to get that video. Let me tell you that the final round of interview can be through different channels that we have, like Skype or social media platforms, or I would say the networking platforms that we have. So the final round of interview depends upon company to company how they are conducting your final round of interview, or if it is a face-to-face round of interview, or if it is through Skype, ensuring that you are not making them feel casual, how casual you are. Don't be too much casual while talking to them, because they are the one who will decide whether or not to hire you, or whether the company should invest in you. Because if you are a fresher, of course they will gonna take more time with you, because they want to make sure that you will stick with them for a long time. They take a risk to hire especially freshers, because they invest a lot of money for whomsoever they are hiring. So it involves a cost to the company. Many companies have predefined set of questions, and basis which they check whether or not to hire you. But I'm talking about some basic generic questions which will be asked in the final interview process. So let's begin with the second question. This is especially for freshers. If you are a fresher and if you are appearing for a voice process or the voice business, they will gonna check your communication skills. They may give you a topic to speak on. They may ask you about your daily routine, what you do and how did you spend your last weekend, and they may also ask you what you do in your free time. So these are the type of topics that they can give you in order to check your communication skills. And this is only for voice business. If you are appearing for a voice business, if it is a sales business or a retail business, so that depends upon the company to company what kind of profile that you are applying for, and basis which they may ask you these questions to check your communication skills. It is not mandatory for all the companies. They may also ask you about your family background, because family background they want to know about, because if you're a fresher, no matter if you're a fresher or an experienced professional, so when a company hire you, so it involves a cost to the company. And so when they ask you about the family background, they basically want to know about your family members, how many members are there in your family, and what your father do. So basis which they can make a connect whether or not to hire you, whether you fit for this particular role or not. And to be very honest, they won't check your skills because you are a potential candidate, you are a potential source for them to be hired. So they won't check your skills, knowledge. All they check is whether or not they should hire you, they should invest, because it involves a cost to the company, whether they should invest in you or not. And that is the reason why they ask certain questions, and they won't check your knowledge and the skills. And the next question that they may ask you is, why do you want to join this industry? Especially if you are a fresher and your course or the degree or the graduation that you have done, the courses that you have done doesn't match to the job description or the job profile that the company is offering you. Obviously, they will gonna ask you about why do you want to join this industry? What it is that motivates you to join us? So here, they want to know how much do you know about the company and how much you are prepared sitting in the interview process, basis which they can take a decision whether or not to hire you. Here is a catch. They ask this question whether to know your interest and how they would relate it to the job description or the job that they are giving to you. So the job profile matches your interest or the degree that you have. So that is the reason why they ask you this question, why do you want to join this industry? To know the key interest, your areas of interest, and whether your interests relate to the job profile that they are offering you. So make sure that you are well prepared depending upon the job profile that you are applying for. So it's totally up to the preparation that you have done for the profile that you are applying for, and of course the company. So you should know about the company and the profile, job application that you have applied for, the role that you will be dealing with. So that is the reason why they ask you, why do you want to join this industry? And the next question that they may ask you is, why do you think that you will do well in this job? So here, when they have a doubt in their mind that whether or not they should hire you, why do you think that you will do well in this job if we will offer you this job? So they will ask you some tricky questions so that they can check your mindset, what you think, and your key areas of interest, whether you would be able to relate to the job profile that they are offering you, right? So that is the reason why they ask you these questions. And the most important question that they may ask you is, especially if you are a fresher, no matter if you are a fresher or an experienced professional, the next question that they may ask you is, where do you see yourself after 5 years down the line? So this is the most frequent question which is being asked in the final round of interview. Where do you see yourself after 5 years? So if you're a fresher, of course, you will say that I have just completed my graduation, I have just completed my degree from this college, and I'm looking for an opportunity where I can grow myself within the system, and I will put my 100% effort in the process that I'm hired for, and it is my management who will decide which position would I deserve. But for sure, I want to see myself on a position going forward after 5 years down the line in the same business. So these are the way how you can answer this question. But that it's up to you how you want to prepare in your own language. Where do you want to see yourself after 5 years? Or you can say that in 5 years from now, I want to see myself growing with the company. I want to see myself on a responsible position, and that will only happen if I will put my 100% effort in the process that I'm hired for and in the campaign that I am in. And so that the company will see me as a potential asset, and I can grow myself simultaneously within the system. So these are the way how you can answer this question. Don't say something which is out of the box, which doesn't relate to the company and which doesn't relate to the profile that you are applying for. If you will do so, obviously you will be rejected, right? So say something which is related to the company and which is related to the process that you are appearing for or the job application that you have applied for. So say something which is connected to the company and which is connected to the corporate sector, and that's how you would be able to crack the interview. If you will say something which is completely out of the box, which is not related to the company and the profile that you have applied for, obviously they will gonna reject you, isn't it? And the next thing that they will check is the consistency. When they are not convinced with your answers and they see a potential source or potential candidate, they see you as a potential candidate or the potential source, and they are not sure. I mean, they are not convinced with your answers that you have given of the predefined questions that every company has. So what they do is they check your consistency in the answers. So consistency is always checked. by the recruiters, by the managers, when they found that you have a potential, you are the potential candidate for that job profile. So consistency is always checked when they have a doubt in their mind that whether or not to hire you, and they are not very much convinced with your answers that you have given of the predefined questions, set of questions that every company has to be asked in the final round of interview. And when they are not convinced with your answer, they check consistency in your answer. Consistency here means that they will ask you the same question again and again after certain period of time. So what it means is that it will lengthen the interview process, they will extend the interview process time, and they will check the consistency in your answers, how consistent you are with your answers. And that is applicable for both working professionals and also for freshers as well. When they are not very much convinced with your answers and they see a potential source, potential candidate in you for this particular role, they check consistency in your answers, how consistent you are with your answers, and they lengthen the interview process. So this is what the consistency is. So where do you live and how soon you can join us? When they ask this question, you are almost done with the interview process, and you are through with the interview, final round of interview. It means that there are 80 to 90% of chances that you are shortlisted for that profile. However, that may depends from company to company, because there are some predefined set of questions that every company has to be asked, and basis which they take a decision whether or not to hire you. So if it is a predefined question, it doesn't mean that you are shortlisted for that particular role or the profile, right? It's totally depend upon the company to company, and basis my experience, I'm telling you that it is just 80 or 90% that you will be shortlisted if they will ask you this question, where do you live and how soon you can join us. Once they are done with the interview process I've given, they ask you the question in the end, do you have anything that you want to ask? So never say no here, because no gives the negative impact to the person who is taking your interview. So it is always, you can always say that yes, I want to ask you something. Make sure that you are not asking anything which is out of the box and which doesn't relate to the job profile and the company that you have applied for. So the question that you will ask here is should link with the company, industry and the job profile that you are applying for. So it should relate to the industry, company and the job profile. It shouldn't sound something which is out of the box. He might give you the answer for sure if you will ask something out of the blue. However, this is not the ideal approach. The ideal approach should be that you should ask something which is connected or which is related to the company, job and job description, company and the industry that you have applied for. So the industry may be aviation, hotel management, or there are several industries that you are applying for. So make sure that you are asking the question which is related to the industry that you have appeared. So that's for now. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.